By now, you've probably heard that investing in Airbnb style rental properties is the hottest segment in real estate. That's because the rent you can get from renting your house out on Airbnb and VRBO is supersized compared to what you can make from renting that same house out long-term to a tenant. Well, because that market is so hot, not only is it a great place to invest, but it's also an incredible place to be flipping. You know, the profits you can make from flipping Airbnb style vacation rental homes is also supersized compared to what you might be able to make just flipping a normal home in a residential neighborhood. I'm about to tell you how we made $500,000 this year from flipping one vacation rental, one Airbnb, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we did it so you could do it too. All right, here's the house that we bought. It's an 8-bedroom vacation style cabin in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, Pigeon Forge is right in the middle of the Smoky Mountain National Park. It's the most visited national park in the country. And you can see from the photos that this cabin had seen a lot of visitors. It was pretty worn out by the time we got to it. And so was the owner. He had been renting this cabin out for years, was tired, he wasn't keeping the rents up, he wasn't keeping the maintenance and the decor up to standard, and it was just kind of slowly declining in value. We were able to buy this cabin in September for $1.1 million. I know, it sounds like a lot of money, I get it, but we then took this cabin. It didn't need extensive renovations, so we came in, refreshed the decor. We added some amenities like a theater space and a flagstone fire pit outside. We got the place looking great, and then we put it back on the market in March, and we had it under contract in April for $1.699 million. And at the end of the day, once we sold it and we paid our expenses and commissions and concessions, we made $514,000 on that one property. So if you're excited about that content, if you find value from this content, please hit the like and subscribe. It'll encourage me to keep making videos. Are you ready to get into it? Let's do it. The first step is to identify the right market, right? If you're gonna flip homes for Airbnb, vacation rental homes, you really wanna flip those in the hottest markets for Airbnb, right? Makes sense. You're not gonna try to sell vacation rental in a market where there are not a lot of vacation rentals. So a couple things you can do to find those top markets. First is there's a service called AirDNA, and they specialize in research related to vacation rental industry. And they publish a list every year of the top Airbnb markets in the country. They're ranked by smallest market, medium size, and largest markets. It's a great list for not only finding an Airbnb to invest in, but also picking a market for flipping rentals. Another good source of information are just online forums and groups. Facebook, Reddit, Bigger Pockets, they all have forums or groups you can join to get news about the hottest markets and the emerging markets that would be ideal for you to flip in. Okay, step number 2, shop for underperforming properties. You see, this is the part that's probably most familiar to you if you flipped homes. You're looking for properties that look a little run down or not quite up to par. You're probably not going to find just total gut rehab jobs in these vacation markets. I mean, you might, but more likely what you're looking for are homes that look like they are underperforming their potential. They have dated decor, They lack amenities, they have terrible photos. Those are all fantastic signs of a good potential flip. Also, these properties are not going to have a typical ARV, like after repair value. The comps are different. This is almost more commercial. You want to look at how much it could do in rent, and that number is what's going to more likely determine its value as a resell flip for you to another Airbnb style investor. The website AirDNA is a great resource for helping you determine the top potential rent of a property. Use that as a way of helping you form your ARV, or its after repair value, or its future rental potential. Okay, step number 3, it's time to flip it. Now that you've found a property, it's time to, do the flip. So this isn't going to be the same as you might do in just a normal residential flip. You need to look at the top performers in your market. You want to see what the other competition is doing and what they're doing to make their property successful and attractive to guests, and just use that as a style template. I'm all about some R&D, some rip off and duplicate, right? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Figure out what the best rentals, the best Airbnbs are doing in your market, and use that as a guideline. Second part of this that's different from a normal flip is that you're going to have to furnish that Airbnb. If you want it to sell and rent at its top potential, then you need to furnish it, because that's how most of these Airbnb, VRBO, vacation rental properties are sold. And thirdly, you need to throw in some amenities. Make that property pop, make it sizzle, right? The best rentals on the market are not just homes, they're destinations. Many of them, depending on location, have game rooms. They have home theaters. They have outdoor living spaces with fire pits. Some of them even have indoor pools or hot tubs. Make a list of amenities that are common and expected in your market, and be sure you get those into your flip. Step number 4, it's time to market your flip. Now, this will be a little bit different than just selling a normal residential home, but there's some crossover. But I'll tell you, the very first thing you need to do is get professional photographs. Listen, cell phone photos are not going to cut it. Buyers will fall in love with your home from the photos before they ever step foot in the property itself. So you've got to win them with great photos. Don't skip that part. The second thing is, buyers will want to know what the rental history is, or at least the rental projections. So you can go again to AirDNA and get rental projections for that property, or you can contact a local property manager and ask them to give you a rental projection. That will help justify your sales price. If you're going to sell this on your own, you can of course list it on Zillow. There are Facebook groups just for Airbnb properties for sale. So there's online marketplaces for that. And also Bigger Pockets website has a marketplace where you can, if you're a pro member, you can list your Airbnb for sale to be seen by other investors. And the last point is this: don't be afraid to hire a great real estate agent to sell your property for you. So the agents that are in these markets that specialize in vacation rentals, they're going to have buyers already in their pipeline that they can match with your property. They're going to know the other agents. They're going to be able to market your property in that market. So don't be afraid to spend the money and use a great agent. They're going to make the transaction so much quicker and smoother for you. Those are the simple steps to selling an Airbnb flip. So if you have specific questions, or if you've got a great story about a flip that you've done, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you on the next video.